Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Hold on 1 second. Hello.
Hey,
How's it
hey.
going?
Oh, it's going really good. Going really, really, really
Hold on.
good since you showed up.
Oh yeah, I had to make sure I keep my word. If I say I'm gonna be there, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. Like a true professional you are. That's what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
Uh, let's see here. All right. Oh, you got a lot of people joining in. You
Oh
bringing in
yeah.
the crowd.
Come on in. Come on in. Go ahead and let the people know what we're about to do. What's going on?
All right.
As I pour up my wine. You
So
got your
what type
wine.
of wine you pouring up? I got some
Oh,
tequila. It's
oh.
actually pretty good.
Okay, that's
It's
some
some
good
pretty good.
tequila. That's
Somebody
that
put me
Mexican
on to it.
tequila.
Yeah.
That's that
I was like,
Mexican
why not?
tequila. I know a little bit about that.
hmm
This is some New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
New Zealand. Okay. Okay. All right. Is that your normal go-to while you in the house or?
Yep, it's my go-to for in the house and otherwise.
Mm, I got you. Uh, hold on. Let me get some things straight here because I want to make sure we're on point. All right. Yep. I'm recording, so we good. All right. So all the people tuning in, I know y'all new to me, but a lot of people are, I guess, seasoned to Miss Ivory. You know,
Oh, you gotta say my name right if you're gonna have me on
Miss
the live,
Miss.
boo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Three
Miss
syllables.
Miss Ivory Young.
There we go.
All right, all right. So I can't shorten this call you Miss Young. I have to
You
say the
can do
whole thing.
that. You can do
Okay,
that.
Miss
Just
Young.
no Ivy.
No
Ivy is
Ivory.
like my all-time worst pet peeve of things that people call me.
So where your name originated from?
My name is Ivory. I have an older
Well,
sister named Ebony, and she's got me by like 6 years. So she's named after Lionel Richie's song "Ebony Eyes." So my dad was like, "Okay, I already have Ebony. I want my next daughter's name to be
daughter
Ivory," and
Ivory. Okay.
here I am.
Is your older sister dark skin?
She's darker than me. She's like brown.
I mean that would really fit. A little bit. Nah.
It
Okay.
was creative. I'll give them that.
All right. Anyways, if y'all new to me, my name is Just. Um, here with Blerdy, right? And what we do with Blerdy is we help people find their true love. And I pretty much created a dating game, three dating games, to help with that communication. There's a lot of people that struggles on conversation. They struggle on asking the right questions and how to flow with it and stuff like that. So I created a tool. I created a couple tools here to help with that. You know, some stuff that you can, that's not what's your favorite color, what's your favorite pizza, something that's more hard hitting, more, get into the person's psyche and everything else. So what we're going to do is pretty much simulate the date on how it go. But before we actually um, simulate the date, um, Miss Young, I have to ask,
Yes,
what's your relationship status?
I am single as a Pringle, as the last Pringle in the can. I'm as single as the
Okay.
last Pringle in the can.
Single by choice, single by focused on something else,
I,
but
I mean, I think all relationship statuses are a choice. If you're like held against your will in a situation, whether you want to be in it or
mhm,
not, you know, that
okay,
would be weird.
that
So
would
it's
be weird.
definitely a choice. It wasn't like I just got left
At the
stranded
altar.
without Yeah, it's not like, I got dumped or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I probably could still be in a relationship right now, but I choose to
Choose you.
not be in a toxic cycle of non-commitment and, you know,
Okay.
bad treatment, you know.
Mm, I hear that. I hear that. All right. So you're pretty much single by choice. What do
Mhm.
you do for a living?
I am a licensed real estate agent. Sorry, I'm like in the chat, like trying to invite people.
Okay.
I'm a licensed real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm also a multimedia mogul.
Ooh.
So I've worked a lot in the entertainment industry, the modeling industry, the music industry, and the nightlife industry. So I did that for work probably since I was 18. So
Okay.
I'm 26 now. So over 10 years. Well, no, 10 years
Okay.
now. 10 years now. I was doing the whole entertainment thing. I've been in real estate for a year. So,
Nice. And how's the real estate thing going for you?
um, it's going well. I'm a newbie, so I'm just getting my feet wet
Mm-hmm.
and really marketing myself as that and building up a clientele. So if anybody's looking for an apartment in Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
looking to
Oh,
buy, sell, rent anything, a home, townhouse, whatever, I'm your girl. I got you.
okay.
I can definitely hook you up with the right
Cool.
information.
Cool.
So definitely reach out if you need some help.
All right. Is there like a business email, or can they just slide in your DMs?
Yeah, I prefer all inquiries to be through social media first because I have a lot of things in my other inboxes. It's just easier for me to file and separate through Instagram and whatnot because that's mostly where I market and advertise. So you can either hit me up on my one Instagram, Ms. Ivory Young, or realestate.iy is my real estate page. So,
Okay. All right. All right. So what area do you mostly focus on?
um, I mean, what did you say? Which area?
Yeah, what city,
Oh,
area, you all
for
over?
Charlotte.
Oh,
I'm only licensed in North Carolina. So, I'm mainly focusing on like apartments. I've worked in Gastonia, North Charlotte. Anywhere in North Carolina, I can do referrals though. But Charlotte's my home market. So,
okay. All right. All right. So let's get back to your singleness. All right. So what type of person or man, don't judge this question, it's 2024, or woman are you attracted to? What's your type? You know?
geez, a type is like so cringe. But I guess if I were to say a type, um, I guess like men in leadership. I love a man in a leadership position. Um, I like a man who is intelligent, um, can keep up with me mentally, um, God fearing. Um, of course, like attractive. Like if I had a choice, like I would prefer like a taller guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe uh, I don't know, like clean cut. I don't really like guys. I mean, I like guys with long hair sometimes. Like I used to have a thing with guys with like long curly hair, but now it's more so like clean cut, like not so high maintenance, but still handsome.
Okay. Is there so tall, is there a body type, complexion, dark skin, light skin,
Um,
doesn't matter?
I have a preference for like muscular guys, but it's not a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dad bod can be okay for the right guy. Um, Just not really a man who's like got like feminine curves. Like, you know how like there's some guys who are like super hipply. I don't like a super hipply man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I'm not opposed to dating like a plus size man either, like a big and strong,
Football
like big and
player
tall
type.
guy. Yeah, I like that kind of thing too. But yeah, just somebody who's like masculine, attractive, probably on the taller side. I prefer black men. Kind of, sorta have a weakness for light skins. I don't know why. I think it's because they're pretty. But like, I'm trying not to be attracted to that anymore because light skinned men kind of, they be high maintenance.
They do.
So yeah, I'm not really discriminatory of the skin complexion. I've dated white guys before. Really haven't dated any Spanish guys, but like, yeah, white guys, black guys. Not really opposed to like having an Asian. Never had one. Not opposed to it.
So
So
who gave you your, so you saying black men gave you your best dating experience?
absolutely not.
Who gave you your,
Absolutely not.
so who gave you your best dating experience?
My best dating experience was probably with a white man, but he wasn't like American country white. He was like born in Russia white. So he was like foreign. So he had like a thick ass Russian accent and like, was very old fashioned. Like, you know.
I mean,
But
like,
that was probably the best relationship I've ever had.
so how long did that relationship last?
Um, Probably 3 years, but I was really young.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got together. I think I just turned 19. We
Okay.
broke up, not too long after I turned 21.
Okay.
So,
All
yeah,
right. So,
it was a young relationship for me.
all right. So you prefer a more traditional relationship or modern?
Define what a modern relationship is, because I'm confused on what that is.
Modern is more like, the man, the wife or the husband both share responsibilities. It's kind of,
Oh no. I mean, responsibilities should be shared, but like I'm like not with the whole if we live together, we're paying half the rent. Like I feel like I can take on a couple bills. You should be taking care of the rent. Like I feel like whatever responsibilities a man had before he was in a relationship, I feel like he should keep those responsibilities. Me personally.
So you moving in
Um,
with him or he's moving in with you
it
or
depends if we live together, period. If we're not living together, I feel like he should contribute financially, whether that's helping me put groceries in the house, helping me, cover a maintenance appointment here and there, covering the dates, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, a man should have more financial responsibility than the woman.
okay, even
Watch
even
out.
if you're not.
Watch out.
I got you. I got you. So a man should help you out along the way of your dating relationship as well as taking care of um your needs, whatever.
You froze for a second. You said as well taking care of what?
A man should help out with your needs and as well as take care of majority of the bills. You're pretty much saying.
I mean, it just depends on what stage of the relationship we're in. Like, if I'm just casually dating somebody, no, I don't expect you to pay my bills,
Hmm.
but you should be putting forth like your best
Effort.
effort to show me, that you're invested, you
Hmm.
know, if you
Hmm.
are invested. If you're not invested, then of course, like, you don't have to show me any kind of investment,
Hmm.
but I'm just kind of at the point where if you're not invested in me, I'm not gonna waste my time.
Okay. So is there a specific job or career that you wouldn't date if a guy had?
I'm kind of anti nightlife industry men. Yeah. So men in like a nightclub, a restaurant, probably the music industry. I feel like that's like a no bueno type of situation for me.
Oh,
Been there, did that, don't like it. Maybe for the
okay.
right guy who knew what he wanted and was ready to settle down. But people in that kind of lifestyle, or who are like completely and totally invested in that lifestyle, I feel like part of it is not settling and like
Mm,
kind of being, you know, um, carried by wherever the wind takes you, and non-commitment,
mm, mm,
so I just personally feel like I've outgrown men who deal with that kind of thing. um,
mm.
Drug dealers, absolutely not, absolutely not. Get down.
You got a cat?
uh, yeah, I do, and she knows that I'm occupied right now, so she's trying to like have her way. But yeah,
So drug
nothing
dealers, people in the nightlife.
illegal. Yeah, nothing illegal, nothing like dealing with like a lot of women all the time. I feel like it just doesn't really put somebody in like a very comfortable, secure kind of position
Hmm.
whenever, you know,
Uh-huh.
you're in a
Somebody,
relationship.
somebody asks, how does she bring the conversation of mutual value that is being brought to the relationship in order to share those values? I guess this is going back towards the
That's like a
financing and
multi-dimensional question. Repeat it again.
how does she bring the conversation of mutual value that is being brought to the relationship?
How how do I bring up what kind of mutual value is being brought to the
Yeah.
relationship? Um, I mean, I definitely don't like having the like what are we conversation. I just personally feel like a man who shows interest in a woman as well as a woman who shows interest in a man, like they'll make that known. um Believe people for who they are the first time, you know what I'm saying? Like if I haven't shown interest or like shown an attraction, it's probably not there, and vice versa, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I mean, there has to be the chemistry. I feel like I read off of the chemistry. So if we're vibing, if we're connecting, if we keep meeting at like a mentally mutual space and we grow comfortability with each other, I feel like the romance and the questions of like, are we going to take things to a more serious level, or make a commitment to each other, I feel like that should be initiated whenever both people kind of are in that flow. You know,
Hmm.
it's not
Hmm.
something that you want to force into a conversation, but more so like if you feel it, like let your feelings be known. And some people are oblivious to how another person feels about them, but like
Hmm.
if you take notice to like their actions, they'll show you. You know what I mean?
True.
So I mean, if I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, okay, like we need to figure this out, or else I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, get gone. Like I don't have a problem like bringing that up, bringing that to somebody's attention. And
Hmm.
9 times out of 10 in this society, like I'm gonna get gone because it's hard to get a man to commit to somebody who, just my opinion, like has a lot of self-respect for themselves
She,
and is very confident.
yes, she asked another question. I guess she said value, meaning I need someone who provides for me in this capacity, and I want to support you in this space to fill into your cup. So I guess I'm reading between the lines here, shorten it up. So if you requiring this from the man to provide all these things, I guess what are you bringing to the table? I guess that's what she's saying.
What value do I have? I mean, that's just like saying what value does anybody have? Like everybody has their own value, and it's up to the people in your life to, I guess, identify how valuable you are to them.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will show you that they think you're valuable to them. Like if you have to ask somebody, do you think, am I valuable to you? I feel like that's already a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to sit here and ask my grandma like what value do I have to her? Like
Mm-hmm.
she loves me, and like, you know, no matter what happens in life, like I know I have family, like I know I have certain friends who value my friendship, and like they're always going to be there, and like will go above and beyond to like put a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like if somebody values your relationship, whether male or female, like you bring true joy into their life, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, help them solve problems that they couldn't otherwise solve by themselves or without you. So it's not so
So,
much about like what am I bringing to the table, it's like shit, do I actually even make you fucking happy? Like do you enjoy like me as a person? Like do I make you laugh? Like do I give you butterflies in your stomach? You know what I'm saying? Like are you
mm-hmm.
genuinely happy to see me? Like do you want to genuinely do nice things for me? And
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. Like I would love to feel that way towards whoever I'm with. I want to feel like I value them enough to show them, like, with, you know, like acts of service, with compassion, with, you know, like physical touch, with whatever, you know, whatever their love language is, and whatever love languages I know how to
Well, what
show. You know
are
what I'm saying?
yours? What are your love language?
All of them. Hold on, let me get my cat. Get your ass down, little girl. Move.
So all of
Yeah,
them.
I need all the love languages, because I feel like without all of them, like you're gonna be looking for something in other places. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I just would prefer, like, ultimately my partner to be able to be versatile in
Mm-hmm.
showing me the different ways that he loves me, because that's what I would try to do as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. First question out the Blerdy and Y deck. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Lay
First
on the
impressions.
questions.
First impressions are everything. Share your best tips for acing a first date and building a genuine connection with you.
Damn, first impressions are everything. See, I'm not an expert dater. I just know what I want.
So it's talking about you though. This is what you want because the guy that's gonna slide in your DMs, that's gonna approach
Right.
you, you want to make sure they coming correct on all levels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just need to be able to have an intelligent conversation. Like, I don't like the, I guess, like small talk conversations, like the formality conversations of a quote
Hmm.
unquote first date, like worrying so much about what the other person thinks that I really can't show my genuine true self.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Um, so I feel like, you know, having the security to like take the masks off, you
Mm.
know, if like I can't get past, you know, the wall
Hmm.
that somebody has, like, or like the guardedness that somebody has, and if I feel like I can't let down my guard around somebody, I feel like that doesn't start off really like a solid foundation. And like I
Hmm.
get on a first impression, like people are usually, well, that's a lie, because usually by the first date, like we've already had like a physical encounter with each other, like in person. Like you've encountered me, we've spoke, like you've asked me out on the date, now we're on the date. Like we shouldn't feel awkward at that point in time, in my opinion. um so like if you can't let your guard down and I can't let my guard down, then I just feel like there's not really space for us to really like get to know each other beneath the surface, you know.
Because you mentioned a lot about not being around the nighttime activities and stuff. So do
Mm-hmm.
you prefer to go on a date during the daytime?
I do. I love daytime dates.
Mm,
And I feel like, it it forces you to be accountable for the things that happen over the course of the day, you know? So it's not like, okay, like this is the end of the night. There's nothing left to do but to go home and go to sleep. Next thing you know,
hmm
I end up a one night stand. That's not how I envision my relationships starting. So,
Good segue to this question. Sparkle with excitement, is putting a ring on it your ultimate relationship goal? If so, what kind of epic proposal would make you melt?
of course, I do want a ring. Am I like to the point where that's the only goal I have in life right now? No.
hmm
Because the person who's putting the ring on my finger is like of the utmost importance.
hmm
But of course, like I want like something super romantic. Like I want something super thoughtful. I want, you know, the whole crying, somebody catching it on videotape. Like I don't really care what the circumstances are. Like I don't mind being surprised, but I want to be like completely surprised, you
hmm
know, or like
Okay.
as surprised as, anybody could be if they're in love with somebody and see a future with them.
Okay. All right. So, have you ever considered a relationship with more than two people? If so, spill the tea. If somebody even asks you to be a part of, relationship with two people, and what conditions would make you open to explore that path?
Oh, wow. Have I ever? Yes, I have been.
How was that dynamic? Was it,
Huh?
that was MMF or FMF or what dynamic was that?
Definitely MFF.
Okay.
Um, yeah, definitely MFF. Two girls, one guy. I've been in situations where it's been more than two girls and one guy, and they've wanted me to join their relationship. Um, I've done the whole threesome thing with my man. Don't like it. Don't fuck with it. Polygamous relationships are like the most unsuccessful like forms of relationships known to man. Like usually there's a main chick and all the other girls are expendable. I don't really get into relationships with people to be expendable, even if there is like, you know, perks and benefits to being in the relationship. I just personally don't like sharing. Like I've learned that over time. I was open to it when I was younger at one certain point in time. It's not for me. I don't feel like there's really an appreciation. I mean, like it's like supervised cheating. Like I saw a post and it was like it's basically like supervised cheating. Now, do I want to be there when my man is cheating if he's cheating? No, I don't. Why? Because it's probably gonna make me want to kill a bitch. So I just, yeah, that's not for me. Um, yeah, I just that's like something that I did when I was way, way in my younger years. As a grown woman, that's not really something I'm into anymore.
Mm,
I'm not into women anymore. I'm like
anymore.
mostly 100% straight. Yeah, I mean, whenever you're in a relationship with more than one person, usually like you are in a relationship with the female too, and you know, not my thing. Um, yeah, and what would make me consider doing that again? Um, Probably like if I just completely sexually was not involved with somebody anymore. Like I feel like you can love somebody without being sexually involved. So like what if like down the line I get married and we've been together for like 20 years, I say I'm really done with having sex with you, but I still love you. We have like a mutual agreement.
Respect.
We've had a
Hmm.
family already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm comfortable in my life, you're comfortable in your life.
Hmm.
If you don't want to go, if both of us mutually don't want to go through the stress of divorce, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we plan on staying together and sex is the only component of our relationship that you're missing, probably go ahead and do that. But I mean, yeah, that
Hmm.
would be like a very rare situation to be
Right.
in.
Oh,
I
okay.
prefer to be married to somebody who I can see having sex with for the rest of my life, you know.
Yeah.
God forbid anything fucking happen, but you know,
You want kids?
hell yeah, I want kids. I want to have a whole bunch of kids, but I'm probably gonna be too freaking old by the time I have any.
You won't.
I give
That's why
myself
we
a
do.
solid 10-year window to have kids still. So 10 years from now, I'll be 36, maybe till I'm 40. I might give myself till I'm 40. After 40, it's probably got to be a cutoff, you know?
Yeah.
But I need to have as many kids as possible by the time I'm 40. So if I start having kids when I'm like 30, I got like 10 years to have as many kids as possible. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like hypothetical, you know?
Okay. All right. Um, last question from the NY deck. It's NY deck filled with 70 cards. All surface level questions. Um,
Okay.
what are your deal breakers when it comes to a relationship?
Um, Dishonesty, betrayal, physical, mental abuse,
Mm.
um, and probably like drug addiction and alcoholism.
So, which drugs? Just a lot of different drugs.
Anything other than like organic drugs. So like if it's not weed and if it's not mushrooms, like I think all of that, even mushrooms can get to be a little, you know, like zombie-ish for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I just prefer a man with like dominion over his flesh,
Mm.
dominion over his mind, dominion over his spirit. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with having a drink, there's nothing wrong with smoking a little bit. But I feel like anything beyond that is unnecessary and not a problem that I want to deal with somebody.
Okay. Is there a salary range that you want to stay away from or around when it comes to someone?
I don't want to say yes because like I'm still working on my career, and you know, I don't know. Some people are good at saving, so they don't really have big salaries, but they have enough money saved up to like not have a job while they're in between, like, you know, businesses or like industries or whatever. So I don't want to say yes, but like I don't want to be living in poverty. I don't
Okay.
want um somebody who couldn't provide, you know, for me
Okay.
and a family. Um
So you saying
I
minimum
don't
55,000, possibly?
possibly, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, definitely I would prefer something on the higher end, but like I feel like if you really love somebody, if you truly like want to be with them, like money isn't the most important thing. Um but also like a man who is dedicated and devoted to you, like they will make shit happen, you know? So
Okay. All right.
like I wouldn't mind somebody who has rich parents and just like is a trust fund baby, but like still understand like key values of life, like so we could just travel the world together and like have like a super rich inheritance. That would be fun. But like, how often does that happen? You know?
No. All right. So is it okay? Can we move on to the next deck of cards? All right. So
Um,
I have this other deck here called Proceed with Caution. You know, I call it the PG-13 deck, where we get a little bit more deep in the questions, you know, really try to get to know someone a lot more stronger. And let's get more to the pain points of things. So this first question is, if you were financially secure enough to cover all the household expenses, would you be okay with having a house husband?
yes.
Really? So,
Yes. But he has to provide in other ways.
like,
Like loyalty, you know, making sure our kids are straight.
yeah.
Like, um, you know, I guess like finding things to invest in, contributing intellectually with the things that I need help with. You know what I'm saying? Because like this is the thing, I could be making all the bills, right? Paying all the bills, but like say for instance, like I have like a super successful company. My husband doesn't necessarily have to work for me, but he'd be working for me. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd be a vital piece to the machine that is how I operate. You know what I'm saying? So like it wouldn't be like he would just be sitting at the house not doing shit. Like I would make sure that he's involved in like the things that I do, you know?
Okay. You mentioned loyalty a lot throughout our little conversation. Has most of the men in your life been disloyal?
Mm,
Or people, I should say, people in your life?
I think it's people. I think it's probably people in general. I do have trust issues. Um, like I have problems with allowing myself to believe that somebody is like gonna be there for me, so I don't really expect people to stick around. I'm happy when they do, but I just personally feel like everybody's moving on their own timelines, so I'm not gonna force my position in somebody's life. You know, I also can't force somebody to be more loyal to me than they want to be. I also know that what I look at as loyalty, other people look at in other ways, or people's definition of loyalty is different, you know? So for me, it's like I need like a teammate. Like he's my partner with, it doesn't have to be everything in my life, but like the important things in my life, like I have a partner for, you know? Um, yeah, and I just feel like who you're in a relationship with is like one of the most important things that you'll ever do, so because like you're directly impacting another person's life. So if I allow another person to directly impact my life, like that's a serious like commitment, and I just would rather not make that commitment if you're not willing to invest in that, you know and that goes with friends, family, partners. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I overinvest into somebody who isn't reciprocating the same mutual respect and feelings?
Okay. All right. All right. So let's segue into this next question. Building trust is key. However, sharing past relationship is a personal decision. How comfortable are you discussing your exes, and what boundaries would you like to establish?
Um, I'm pretty comfortable discussing my exes. I'm not really like the people who made like a lasting impact on my life. Like, I'm comfortable talking about that. Um, especially like if it's something that's like completely and totally over and done with, like I don't have any problems expressing like something that's already done with. Um, boundaries, I feel like, you know, I don't know, like, the childish shit, like asking what my body count is. Like, I just personally feel like if you're not interacting every day with somebody that I've had sex with in the past, like, it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my major relationships, like, they're a given because they were probably like made to be public, or like my family was introduced to them or whatever. So it's like, that's kind of like a given, like discuss, you know, who possibly, like, you know, or just, I guess, the learning points of those relationships that you bring into your newer relationships. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel I don't feel like there's anything wrong with discussing that, like the growth from those relationships. Um, but yeah, like asking body counts and like all that other stuff, like, like if I'm not interacting day to day, like I would never ask you, oh, did you have sex with that girl, unless we interact with her often or I'm interacting with a female often. Like, I feel like you should let me know, like, hey, we used to deal with each other. If she's acting weird to you, that's probably why. You know what I'm saying?
Give you the heads
That way
up.
I have a choice to say, okay, I can like manage how I interact with certain people because I know what their, you know what I'm saying, their thought processes are, you know? But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like you should be able to be honest with your partner about your past, because I feel like your past is gonna eventually pop up sometime, you know. Um, but yeah, like getting real petty about it, like every person you've ever slept with, like that's a little extreme, you know.
True. So what boundaries have you grown to learn to put in place from previous relationships to new ones?
Mm, probably, I don't know, like probably uh well, one major boundary that I've put in place just for myself is like, the power of my vagina. Like, I just feel like personally, after the relationships that I've been in, like, I'm not willing to have sex with people who don't deserve it. So, not that I use it as a weapon. And like, I hate when sometimes men be like, oh, you use sex as a weapon against people. But ultimately, if we're not married, I don't have a ring on my finger, I don't owe anybody any sex. And the more
But do
sex that people have, I feel like kind of devalues like the personal connection, you know? It's like, oh, we have sex. Okay, but what else? Like, do you know anything about me? Like, do you do anything for me? Like, do you make an effort to make me happy? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I the only person that you're having sex with? And that be the major thing. Like, if I'm not in a committed relationship with somebody, you don't know who they're having sex with. So why would I want to have sex with you? You know? So if you can't commit to me, it's probably not going to be any sex being had. Or if we're not in a good place in our relationship, or if I feel like you've been disloyal or dishonest, I'm not going to have sex with you because I need that security. And I value my own vagina enough to like not play around with those types of energies, because I feel like sex is like an exchange of energy, you know?
soul
So that's not
ties?
something I'm willing to play around with.
Soul ties. That's right. All right. All right. So, what are three things you wish someone you previously dated did more?
Bought me shit, paid bills, took me out on dates, took me outside, period,
Someone
took me
please
on
call
vacation.
911. Damn.
What'd you say?
I said, someone please call 911. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
everything. I could use a whole lot of everything in my fucking past relationships. But that's just me being young and gullible. And like you said, the whole loyalty thing, like I was loyal to a fault, I want to say. And I don't want to say I put too much pressure on the relationship. I just feel like the people I was in relationships with couldn't handle the pressure of actually being in a relationship. So I like, one, they couldn't handle the pressure. Two, they couldn't handle their emotions. Three, they couldn't handle their anger. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a whole lot of couldn't handle. And then me asking for anything that I actually wanted was like so far off the table that, you know what I'm saying? Like it was basically like never gonna happen. So that's why I ended up leaving those relationships, because it was like the bare minimum shit I couldn't even get.
Wow.
You know?
So what's bare
So
minimum?
any bare minimum is like not putting your hands on
Oh,
people, like not being verbally abusive, not being controlling, and fucking like trying to have three separate relationships at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Like
It seemed like
shit like that.
was the only good relationship you had was with the Russian guy?
Yes.
Damn, that's deep.
And
Black men
the
need to do
reason why
better.
we broke up is because I was super young, he was super controlling, and we couldn't get over our cultural differences because, you know, I guess being from another country, he doesn't know like the impact of like my black identity. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So it was like, you know, I'm not a black girl to him. I'm just beautiful. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't see me as a black girl. And like, those kinds of things just kind of bothered me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because I am a black woman. And if we were to ever have kids, like, I would want my kids to know that they're black kids,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I would want them to know and appreciate like their black history like
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just kind of something that was like in the way at the time. And like I couldn't really get over, and I was young, he was controlling, he was ready to like get married and like start having babies by the time I was 21.
God damn.
And yeah, and I had just lost my mom when I was 17. We got together when I was 19, and it was like I truly could not be myself. And he was like trying to mold me into
Oh
something that
wow.
wasn't a bad thing, but
But
it wasn't like true to who I was. And me being so young and like so like in grief, I feel like I didn't want to keep losing another part of myself that I identified with after losing my mom. So I was just like, okay, like if I have to like struggle and go without this relationship, um that's probably what I'm going to have to do, because I don't feel like I can truly be myself and honor my feelings and be accepted for who I am, even though like everything in his eyes was perfect about me, you know. But it was like, I'm only perfect because I'm doing everything that you asked me to, and like my feelings weren't really being considered, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, the gifts were nice, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a very influential man, and like he was quite powerful, you know what I'm saying? But like that's a lot of pressure too. Like I'm like a young like mob wife, you know what I'm saying?
Was there an
And
age gap?
yeah, he was 10 years older than me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
You think you will have a better relationship with older men dating today?
not anymore. I used to think that my luck would be better with older men, and now I'm kind of like, older men are a red flag for me.
Damn, how much older?
So, so I feel like anything over like 10 years is pushing it.
Mm,
Like I'm
okay.
convinced that like any man I deal with has to be under 40 years old. And the relationship I just got out of, like at the beginning of the year, she's like 40 plus, which is damn near 20 years older than me. So I just personally feel like at that age, a man has already found his love and lost it, or is not capable of, correct.
Giving it.
Correct.
Yeah. Damn. Damn. Okay. All right. Oof. All right. So, what about your friends? How many friends you have? How big or small is your friend circle? What are they like?
I have very low maintenance friends and not too many of them. So my friends, I probably go months without seeing them. Um, I mainly just work. Like I might encounter like some, outings. I might go on some outings with some girls that I might have worked with in the past.
Some
Hey, stop
acquaintance.
it. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not like we're super friends. It's like, associates and
Right.
like, just like we're in social settings. Like my best friend, I have one best friend. She lives in Pennsylvania. We literally only see each other maybe like 2 or 3 times out the year, but we call each other often, and like we have like a very like our friendship is very like spiritual.
Okay.
So like we call each other to like check in to see where our mind's at, like if we're connected like to our higher power, if we're handling situations in our life the correct way, and like avoiding hardships spiritually, because a lot of what people go through is a spiritual battle. And that's something that I believe strongly. It's like a, a power of like a battle of wills. You know what I'm saying? So is my will to live and my will to prosper outweigh the will to like feed into my temptations, and the will to like feed into like my own toxicity, because everybody has their own toxicity, but you don't have to feed that motherfucker. you know it's
Right.
like, what demons are you feeding into yourself, and like also like what angels are you feeding to? So um I'm a very deep person when it comes to relationships in general. So my friends, like we usually like are super super freaking deep. Um
You
but
believe
yeah,
it?
I really only have one friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she lives like 700 miles away. I have other friends, but we don't speak every day. Like if I happen to see them, like I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, hey, like
Mm-hmm.
how you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
But I have a very like non-existent circle.
Okay. All right. So if the potential guy, if he has a large group of friends, you be okay with that to fit into his?
Yeah, as long as I can be included and I feel comfortable being included, like I don't mind. Like I prefer for my man to have a lot of friends, because I feel like, that is like a sense of community, and I like a man who's a leader within his community. So
Mm-hmm.
I usually gravitate towards men who have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't like a man who has like fucked up friends though. Like, why are all your friends fucked up? Like, why are all your
So,
friends asking you for money?
so
Like,
going
why are
off of
all your
that,
friends like?
so you
Why do I feel
believe,
like all your female friends are attracted to you and secretly in love with you? You know what I'm saying?
so
Like,
you feel like, birds of a feather flock together type of thing, or because if a man has a bunch of
not
fucked up
always,
friends,
not always, because I've had some fucked up friends before that like men don't necessarily like or appreciate. They might not always last a whole long time,
I was
because
about
like
to
I
say,
fall out with bitches all the time. Like,
well, looking
um,
back on it, they really wasn't friends. They was just acquaintances for a second.
No, they were definitely friends at the time. It's just the conscious decision that I made to not be friends with them anymore because I'm just the type of bitch, once you cross me, bitch, ain't no coming back from that. So a real
I know
friend
not to.
ain't gonna cross me, you know?
I know. I know not to cross you. Uh, all right. So, with your significant other, is sharing passwords a must?
It's not a must, but if I want to see what's in your phone, you should be letting me see what's in your phone. Because I feel like there should be no reason why I have to go behind your back to check your phone. If I want to see what's in your phone, I'm going to ask you to see what's in your phone. And you not letting me see what I want to see is going to tell me everything I need to know, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you're around a man or even a woman and every time the phone rings they flip the phone face down, or like every time they text somebody they gotta like text you over here so that you can't see. I don't like shit like that at all, at all. Like if you can't
Okay.
be out and open with your shit, don't come around me.
Okay. All right. All right. So, moving right along. Is it okay we go on to the next deck?
Yeah, let's go to the red hot
The
tamale
red flag
question.
indicator. This got a little bit more spicier questions in it. It's the last deck. Not going to hold you too much longer after this. All right. So, would you want honesty or transparency? Which one you
Both.
prefer? Both. Why
I feel
both?
like transparency is a part of honesty. So it's like you can be honest without being transparent. That don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can be transparent without being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be transparent like just to hurt my feelings. That's not
Mm-hmm.
okay either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be like a happy balance between the two.
So he has to use discernment to what he might
Yeah.
give you at what time.
No, I feel like, I mean, those are two separate qualities that, you know, you kind of have to add to the context of the situation, like, okay, walking into this, I want to be honest. And instead of just waiting for her to ask, like, I'm just going to tell her, you know what I'm saying? Or there's something that I need to tell you, and as opposed to just telling me half of the truth, the whole truth, you tell me half of the truth. That's not okay either. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
So,
So
but can you handle the transparency? If he gives you the
yeah, but
transparency,
I'm also free to make a decision based off of your actions as well. Like
okay.
you can't just tell me something and then not be accountable for it. Like, and the argument of me telling you was me being accountable. No, being accountable is owning up to what you did and facing the consequences. And if the consequence is my feelings are going to be hurt for a little while, you're going to have to deal with that. If you don't feel like dealing with that, then deal with somebody else.
Well, damn. Okay. The consequences hurt your feelings. A man just don't want to get his eye blackened, or window
Oh no, I
bust
don't
up.
believe in putting my hands on men. If I feel like I gotta put my hands on you, I'm probably gonna have to kill you. But I don't believe in putting my hands on men
Do you
because
own a gun?
I don't feel like a physical fight with a man is something that I can win. So I wouldn't even like trigger a man to that point. And if a man is triggered just by me raising my voice or yelling, then I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he doesn't have enough, you know, willpower to deal with me in the first place
Okay.
because I'm a loud bitch sometimes.
Okay.
And I'm emotional. So like if I get too emotional, I'm not saying, yeah, I'm gonna burn the whole house down, but like it's gonna feel like a heaviness that is gonna be hard to get up off your back, you know?
Mm.
And if you feel
Mm.
like I'm a monkey on your back, beating you in the head, and I ain't even put my hands on you, then it's probably not a safe environment for either of us, you
Mm.
know?
All right. All right. So, is bad sex a deal breaker for you?
See, I don't know if it'd be a deal breaker right away, but over time, I feel like it might be.
Explain.
Um, because I feel like people, when they are in a relationship, they decide to have sex. Like, it takes time to like get to know somebody's body and get to know like the things that they like, and to like learn each other sexually. So there has to be like a grace period, but like if it's just like painful, or
Painful.
I feel like triggered, like for instance, my last relationship, he was like really into threesomes in the beginning of our relationship, and I was like, okay, like let's try it, whatever. And ultimately, like after a while, I was like, okay, like I don't fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're requiring threesomes on like a bi-monthly basis, like I feel like, yeah, like we're gonna have to start seeing other people, because I'm not with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like over time, like that shit became a deal breaker. And it came to a point where it's just like, you're either gonna have to give up the threesomes or give me up.
I'm,
He
I'm,
gave up the threesome.
I'm sorry. Who found the other girl? You found the other girls or he did?
See, and that was the part of it that I was uncomfortable with. We were like doing threesomes with like his play sisters and like his best girlfriends and shit that just so happened to like come around on occasion. And I'm just like, this shit feels weird. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really comfortable with it, but I was like, like trying to, I guess, like figure out if that would be something I'd be okay with. And it wasn't. So that shit hit the fan hard.
Damn. So he had a harem of women that he just had rotating, and y'all used to get a popping.
I mean, it only happened like a couple of times, but it was a pattern that I had noticed, you
Mm,
know?
mm,
And it was like, I don't really want to continue a pattern like this, because I feel like it shows like a character flaw within him.
mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was like, yeah, like I have to give you an ultimatum, because this shit is a deal breaker for me. Um, I feel like somebody who I'm not sexually compatible with, eventually, like I'm not going to want to be with long term,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
All right,
I mean, I
so
can still love you, but we should be in a relationship, you know.
okay. So who is responsible for a woman's or a man's orgasm?
Um,
Every man for themselves. Oh, like you gave a shoulder shrug, like
like responsible for an orgasm is crazy. I feel like it's a mutual type of thing. Like I can definitely, like if we have sex and I don't come, like I can either make myself come, or you know, you could finish the job for me, but I don't have a problem like making sure I get mines. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So I don't really put all the responsibility on the guy, unless he's just like a minute man, only worried about his orgasm and not worried about mine,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it got to be a mutual type of thing, but like it has to be cohesive. Like, let's say he comes before me, and you know what I'm saying? Like he's still into it, he's still wanting to please me, or he's still like, I guess, like holding my hand through me getting myself off. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to just turning over and falling asleep right after he
Don't
comes.
you
You know
feel
what I'm saying?
used when that happens?
Yeah. I do.
Like, damn.
Or like saying, okay, I gotta go. Like, really, motherfucker? You gotta go? All right. Guess whose number is getting blocked?
Uh, uh, my wife calling. I
Guess
think
whose number is getting
I
blocked?
pick up the kids in the morning. Sorry, gotta go. All right, we got a little bit more time left on the clock because the live stream ends in an hour. So I'm gonna open this. I'm
Okay.
gonna continue asking questions. I'm gonna open this up to everybody. So if you watching, if you have questions, go ahead. Please ask. All right. So the question. You ready?
I can't read it this backwards.
At what point in a relationship do you think it is appropriate to discontinue using condoms?
Whoa. Um, I guess whenever you're absolutely positively not having sex with anybody else, and paired with, healthy charts from both people. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, and I guess like I can see myself having kids with that person because I haven't been on birth control since I was 18.
Really?
So if I'm fucking somebody raw, I've made the decision in my head, okay, I'm okay with this nigga giving me a baby
So clearly you strap up all the time.
all the time, all the fucking time.
Mm,
And if I don't, it's because I'm ready to have that nigga baby. So,
mm. Yeah,
but
it
I've
hasn't
been
happened yet.
celibate. I've been celibate. So, because like of what I've explained earlier in this podcast, like I'm just not really
How long
giving,
it's been? How
huh?
long it's been you've been celibate?
Long enough.
Okay. All
It's
right.
been multiple months though.
All right.
Multiple months.
All right. So since you've been celibate, let me ask this question. What kind of sex toys do you own and what kind of sex toys you would like to try out?
Um, Not big on the sex toys. I've had one vibrator my whole life, and I don't even use it.
What? You don't got the rose? I thought that was like women's dream.
I'm not a sex toy person. I don't like. I don't know. I just don't like cold silicone. I don't like spending money. Like I'm more so I can do it myself and don't really need all the extra accessories, you know.
Hmm. Are you a squirter? TMI? Okay, moving on. Moving on. Moving
Let's
on.
just say I don't have an issue in that area
Moving on.
at all.
So you peeing? You peeing on
Hey, if you like it, I love it.
fuck her fuck her for about an hour, then give
I feel
her a golden
I feel
shower.
like I wouldn't be compatible with somebody who wasn't okay with a squirter. Like if you have an aversion to squirt, then I feel like you need to grow the fuck up.
It's
That's
rain
just like saying like I won't swallow. Like grow the fuck
it's
up.
raincoats for that. I mean, squirt away.
There you go.
Put on these
Sheets
rain.
can get changed, and my shit, all my mattresses got mattress
I,
protectors on it.
I was about to
So
ask you, how much you spend on your mattress pad, your mattress protector?
it was like $99. I got a
Yeah.
king size bed.
Okay. All right. All right. I got mine from Macy's. It's about like 300. It works.
I got mine from like the Furniture Galleria. So it
Mm.
was like discount furniture, discount mattress shit. Like,
All right.
so I got a good deal on it.
All right. So, you know what? There's no need to ask this question because you already answered it. Mm, mm. You crazy. Niggas need to
Hey,
grow up.
I don't like being told I'm crazy.
No, I'm saying you funny. He's like niggas need to grow up. You afraid of a little wetter, you know. All right. So, is there a size matter that matters from a man that you get, or
I don't like micro penises, and I feel like I can only take but so much, if that makes sense. Like, I like big, I don't need big, but it can't be too big either. Like, it gotta fit me like a puzzle piece. It gotta fit just right.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? If I love you, I'll make it work
make it
though.
work? Okay. All right. So you make it
Because
work.
just because he's small don't
You
mean
can't hit.
he's bad, and just because he's big don't mean he's good.
So
You
you,
feel what I'm saying?
if he's big, you'll still give it a try.
Trying being the operative word. My little cootie cat snatched, so you know she probably need to get adjusted to a larger size.
Because the last young lady I had on this live, she said, "Nah, it's not going down. I'm just gonna look at you like you're stupid."
What? What?
The
What's
last
not going
young
down?
lady, she said she ain't doing it. Like if it's too big, she ain't doing it.
See, I don't mind a challenge, but I know my limits. I'm not about to tear myself to try to accommodate for something that I can't accommodate. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But
Okay,
I'm up for the challenge. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
She's up for the challenge. All right. So if you was faced with a choice, would you opt for a husband earning 90K a year annually, or a sugar daddy that providing you a monthly allowance for 20K a month?
Damn. I only prefer a sugar daddy if I don't have to fuck him. Cause I know if he's sugar daddy and me, he's sugar and daddy somebody else. Now, that is quite a salary, you know? But it'd be like, do I choose to be a wife or do I choose to be a prostitute? I choose being a wife over a prostitute any day.
I mean, I don't know what man don't ask for sex.
But that's the thing. Like, am I gonna be selling pussy or do I want to be a wife? I'd rather be a wife
So have you ever got proposition?
all the time. People try to pay for this pussy
What was
all the time.
the most they offered you?
They're usually cheap with it. They don't offer much.
Mm, so is there an amount that you be like, maybe I will?
Mm, I mean, it's like a multi-layered decision. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like the money would like I really only do it for somebody who I'd want to fuck anyways, if that makes sense. Like, I couldn't just take $20,000 from somebody who looks like freaking who shot John and forgot to kill him, or looks like he has like STDs, or looks like, he would probably strangle me during the process of us having sex. Like, I don't know. Shit just gets too dangerous. Like, then after a certain point, like somebody like this is the thing that you have to think about. Somebody offers you $20,000 to have sex, right? At that point, as a man, you basically feel like you own me. So during the process of us having sex, I don't know if you're gonna want to try to cut my ass, try to kill my ass, try to keep me locked up for days. Like, that just gets into a very like dangerous realm of sex work that people don't often like glamorize in
Mm-hmm.
the public eye. Like, they glamorize like having a sugar daddy and like being a hoe and like all that other shit. Like, there's like a very dark side to like, sex work. and it's not always glamorous. And you know, like if I didn't already like somebody, if I didn't already feel attracted to them, I probably wouldn't accept money for having sex with them. But I would have sex with somebody and accept money from them if I was already planning on fucking them, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
So I'm streaming live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Everybody that's watching, make sure you subscribe to all the channels. Please
Yeah.
subscribe is free. I'll be having other gentlemen and men, women up here, that's single, that's looking to date. But somebody said on
Oh,
Facebook,
yeah. And I'll be doing my own segments, asking questions with, hold on, asking questions with my Blerdy
yes,
cards.
you will be.
So, all you lucky gentlemen out there who want to shoot your shot
Hmm.
and want to be interviewed live and in real time, I'll be starting to do that probably next week. I might can get one done this week, but I'll probably do it like maybe once a
Yes.
week. So I have my cards available. I have my dating questions
Hmm.
ready. And if you are a single man out there and, you know, want to get shared on the platform and, you know, shoot your shot to the ladies out there, I'm your girl.
Let's get it. So right before we go, somebody said we all paying one way or another, going out to eat, movies, trips, ain't the same thing. It's just going ahead and offering the bread to pay for sex.
I mean, only like I said, if I was already willing to do that with you. Like if I don't want to have sex with you, there's nothing you can do that's gonna make me want to have sex with
Okay.
you.
So you have to be attracted to the person. You have to be already building
Right.
a relationship.
Because it's kind of like whether they pay me or not, I have to live with the fact that I slept
Hmm.
with this person.
So, so if you like him already, he could skip a few steps by just giving you some money.
Yeah, I would appreciate that actually.
Really?
You know? Yeah, like I'm not gonna say you can't fuck me unless you give me like $1,000, but if I have sex with somebody and they're like, you know what, here you go, put this in your pocketbook, best believe I'm fucking taking that shit.
But with beforehand, he like, listen, man, I just need some. Here goes $1,000. Come on. And you like him.
Again, I'd have to be
Yeah,
already
you
attracted to
like
him.
him. All
Yeah,
right. All right.
yeah.
All right. So is there a minimum amount for that to skip a few dates?
It depends on how horny I am.
Well, you've been celibate for a while, so
I, and that's the thing, like I'm not really that horny. Okay, so I guess the minimum would have to be like
okay.
$1,000. Matter of fact, no, I'll make it 1,000 because like my rent is 1,500